Alright guys, so now we're going to do worksheet GO. Alright, so pay attention and we should be able to get through this pretty quick. So number one, which function includes the data set 3, 6, 4, 8, 8, 16? Okay? I'm going to recommend graphing each of these individually. Graph y equal x minus 3 in your calculator. Go to your table, hit second graph. See if you see all three of these points in your table. If you do, then you know that this is the correct answer. Hopefully only one of those can work. Okay? And I'm going to try to do that pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the answer is y equals 2x. Let me show you why. You plug a 3 in for this x. 2 times 3 is 6. That works. Plug a 4 in for this x. 2 times 4 is 8. Which that works. Plug in the 8 for the x. 2 times 8, you're going to get a 16 for your y. 16 for your y. Okay? So answer choice D is the correct answer. But try all four of these, to make sure that none of the other ones work. Alright? Let's move on to this next one. What is the equation of the line shown? What is the equation of the line shown? Okay? Now, first thing to notice, this slope, positive or negative? You're going up the hill, so it's definitely a positive slope. Look, positive, 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 positive. Those are all positive slopes, okay? So we can't eliminate anything like that. What we can do is we can look at the y-intercept, the place where it crosses the y-axis. Look, here we go. It crosses at -2, okay? Well, automatically look at these y-intercepts. Positive 2, -2, positive 2, -2. So we can eliminate, all right, F and H. Leave us only G and J. Okay, so now you figure out the slope. Now I know these lines, these little lines did not come off too great on your worksheet when you made that copy. But if we look at this line, we can kind of estimate what's going on here. Look, remember slope is rise over the run, okay? That's a good way to think about it. So let's go from this point to this point. Here's something we can definitely identify. Obviously on the tax, they're going to have all these little lines, are going to be ran off. There's going to be no issue. So let's go from this point to this point. How much does it rise? Well, it rises 2, right? 1, 2, it rises. How many does it run? This is 0, this is 4, so it runs 4. This 2 over 4 can be reduced to 1/2. So the slope of this line is going to be 1/2. Alright? So slope of 1/2, y-intercept of -2, that's answer choice G. Okay? So that's the correct answer on that one. Alright, let's look at this next one. Rebecca and Carlos sold posters for a school fundraiser. Rebecca sold 4 more than half the number of posters that Carlos sold, okay? So, look, we got R and C here. So we'll call Rebecca R, we'll call Carlos C. Which equation represents the number of posters Rebecca sold in terms of the number Carlos sold? So C. Rebecca sold 4 more than half the number of posters that Carlos sold, okay? So, first of all, I'm going to try to do this in my head. So, Rebecca, the number of posters that she sold, okay, is 4 more than half the number of posters that Carlos sold. So, half the number of posters that Carlos sold, add 4 to that number, you're going to get the number that Rebecca sold, okay? So you should be able to go through and kind of do that in your head when you're coming up with them. Rebecca sold, so Rebecca sold, the number of posters she sold equals 4 more than half the number of posters that Carlos sold, okay? What I always like to do is come up with some real numbers. This is the answer choices here, it's A, right? I like to come up with some actual numbers. Let's say that, Rebecca, the number she sold is based upon the number that Carlos sold, okay? So let's say Carlos sold 6 posters. If Carlos sold 6 posters, Rebecca sold 4 more than half of 6. So half of 6 is 3, 4 more than 3 is 7, okay? Let's try this. Let's plug in a 6 and a 7 here. It should work. Half of 6 is 3 plus 4 is 7. Let's plug a 6 and 7 here in here. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4, not 7. Let's plug a 6 and 7 here. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 8 is 20, not 7. Let's plug a 6 and a 7 in here. Half of 6 is 3, minus 4 is -1, alright? Rebecca did not sell -1 posters. Answer choice is A. So a good way to do it, if you have trouble coming up with this equation, is take some actual numbers and plug in. See which of those is going to work for that equation. Okay? So let us work on the next one, on number 1. But first, I would like to challenge you to do the, see how quick you are. How many I get in a row? Ooh, 3. Let's see if I can do it with my left. I'm better with my right than my left, right? So, ooh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to do this all day, so I better quit. But you should try it. Alright, just try to give you a little more entertainment. I know this is getting boring. Let's look at number 1. What is the slope of the line containing the data point shown in the table? That's all I got. Nothing creative. Maybe I'll juggle. Next time around, I'll juggle on the next video, so stay tuned. What is the slope of the line containing the data points shown in the table? Look, we're looking for a slope of data points. Now look, all of these points, this is just, look, we could write it like this. 0, -5, 1, 1, 2, 7. We're trying to find the slope between two data points, okay? So to find slope between 2 points, we're going to use a formula on our formula chart. Let's see if you can find it real quick. Pause this video, find it before I do. Here it is. Hope I didn't beat you. Slope of a line, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the formula. So, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We could choose any of these points. I'm going to choose these 2 points just because this negative guy, you know, he's kind of ugly. We like to keep it positive. Okay? So if we use 1, 1, 1, 1, this will be your x1, y1 right here. x1, y1. For the y1, okay, this will be your x2, y2. Alright, so let me box this in to make this really clear. This is your x1, y1, that's your x2, y2. So y2 minus y1, y2 is 7, minus y1 is 1, over x2 is 2, minus your x1 is 1. Alright, plug that in. 7 minus 1 is 6, 2 minus 1 is 1. Slope is thus going to be 6. Answer choice D. Okay? You can always use these points, but again, keep it with the positive ones. Don't forget this formula, guys. That's super important whenever you want to find the slope. So number 2, find the slope of the linear function negative x equals 2y minus 6. Well, it's not too easy because we cannot look at that and identify the slope, right? If we want to figure out the slope of a function, what should we do? Put it in slope-intercept form. Put it in y equal mx plus b form. Is this in y equal mx plus b form? No. We got to do a lot of work to it in order to get it in this form. Okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to divide this into 2 parts. Alright? I want my y on my left and my x on my right. So let's get my y on my left first. How can I get a 2y to the left? Well, I can always subtract 2y from both sides. Now I'm going to have a negative 2y minus x equals, doesn't look too much like an x, equals your negative 6. Okay? Now, let's keep it balanced. Alright. Now let's get the x to the right. How can I get a negative x to the right? Add x to both sides. Alright. So I'm going to get negative 2y equals negative 2y equals x minus 6. Now the only problem is there's nothing in front of the y here. There's something in front of the y here. So how can I get rid of a negative 2 in front of the y? Alright, you guessed it, I divide by negative 2. So I'm going to divide by negative 2, divide everything, and I'm going to do it this way. I think this makes it more clear. I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. So I'm going to get y equals, now there's an imaginary 1 in front of that x. Okay? So I can bring that off and I can say negative 1/2 x, negative 6 divided by negative 6. I mean, negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. So find the slope of the linear function. The slope of the linear function is thus negative 1/2. Okay, answer choice F. Now that took a little work, but, you know, you should be able to do it okay. It just takes a little practice, a little time, but you can do it. It's not that difficult of a problem, okay? So that's number 2. Let's do the last one on this paper. Number 3, what is the slope? It says, what is the slope of the linear function shown in the following graph? Well, first off, are you going up the hill or are you going down the hill? You're going down the hill, right? If you're going down the hill, then the slope is negative. Okay, you're going down the hill, slope is negative. Look, positive slope, positive slope. We can automatically mark out A and C. Okay? Now again, it's not so pretty because the lines didn't run off that nice. The tacks, the lines will run off nice. It'll be easy to find 2 points. But let's find two places that look like some points. So here is a point, and maybe about here is also a point. Okay, that looks about, those meet. Okay? So here, remember, rise over run. Okay? So rise, so from go to this point to this point, how much do you rise? Well, you rise 2 units, right? You rise 2 units to get to this point. So you rise 2, and you run how many? Well, here you're at 6, here you're at 0. So you're going over 6 units to get to here, right? 6 units. Okay? So 2 over 6. We can reduce 2 over 6 to 1 over 3. Now, you're running to the left, so you need to actually make that a negative. So that'd be a negative 1/3. Okay? So the correct answer choice is D, negative 1/3. Automatically eliminate, guys. Eliminate those positive answers. That way you don't want to put a positive 1/3 for your answer. So right away, say to yourself, is that slope positive? Is that slope negative? This is negative, so mark out the positive answers. Okay? So that does it for worksheet GOAT. Bah. Oh wait, that was a sheep. My bad.